Topic today is handgun disarming. There are some concepts you need to understand before we get into the physical techniques. Hick's law. Hick was a behavioral psychologist who did studies with reaction time. And he found that when you double the number of stimuli, you double a person's reaction time. The second thing he determined was that the more options you have, the longer your reaction time. Simply because your brain will go bang, 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 find the program at once, download it, and then of course you'll execute the technique. If you have only one way to disarm someone all the way around your body, your reaction time will be much faster because your mind's only got one option, downloads the motor program, and then you go. So, some basic tactics here. Since it needs to be gross motor skill, you don't want to use techniques that require you to use your fingers. As you know, under high stress, you lose the ability to manipulate your fingers. If you're taken hostage and you're looking down the end of a barrel, you will be you'll be in a state of high stress. So you'll see this in different videos where officers have been taken hostage. They try to disarm the person, and they lose the ability to manipulate their fingers. That's why the technique I'm going to show you is a gross motor skill. It is simply a block. That's all it is. Now, to execute this technique successfully, and I developed this technique 20 years ago when Simulations came out. What I found with the Oregon Academy was that the techniques that we had taught and practiced previously were ineffective with a real firearm. Most disarming techniques are used with a dummy gun, in other words, a training gun that won't fire. And we did the same thing. And so when Simulations came out, originally they were 38 caliber revolver cartridges, we were practicing our techniques and we got shot on a regular basis. So we had to modify our techniques to work under stress against a live firearm. And so by keeping your hands down, and the person says get your hands up, the block comes up, and you simply wrap and trap the firearm. At the same time, you deliver a palm strike to the face. You don't want your handgun disarming attempt to get into a strength contest. When you grab guns and you start to wrestle, the strongest person has an advantage. So you want to turn that advantage to you with either an eye gouge or a palm heel strike. So my hands are down, the gun comes up, you need to distract the person. You know, what do you want me to do? You know, look, I'm married, I've got a kid, you don't want to do this, it's only a misdemeanor, don't make it a felony. Of course, he gets frustrated, he says, get your hands up, get your hands up. So when he says get your hand up, he expects your hands to move, so he's not alarmed. And so he says, get your hands up, you block, wrap the arm, strike all at the same time. So my hands are down, he says, get your hands up, you block and strike, and then you grab the head, knee strike him 3 times, and take him to the ground. That's the technique. And it works all the way around the body. Now I'm going to show you a video with this technique. And there's two elements to this video. The first is demonstrating the technique all the way around your body in a step-by-step fashion. The other is, I actually have 4 officers who only practiced this technique, learned it and practiced it for 2 hours, execute these techniques against a live firearm that's firing simunitions. Those of you aren't familiar with simunitions, they're a plastic projectile that fire out of a real firearm at 400 feet per second. And so I've put thousands of officers through this technique, and I only had 2 failures. And one was the person was trying to inhale while they made the technique, which slowed the reaction time down. The other was, the other officer didn't take it seriously and got shot. But out of the thousands that I've trained, I've had 2 failures. And once we got the breathing down with the one officer, she could do it. And once we got the other person on track with the training, that person could do it as well. So I hope you find this video valuable. Train hard. I'll see you in the next one. Handgun disarming from the front. The gun comes up. Again, you want to distract the person and you want to keep your hands down. These are 2 key points. And so, of course, what he's learned from television is the first thing he's going to say is get my hands up. So if I start to distract him, what do you want me to do?
Put your hands up.
Okay, so he says that, he expects my hands to move. So then what I do is I simply bring, as my hands come up, I block outside. That moves the weapon off the line of my face, so I don't get shot. Which time I move straight forward, trap the hand, and strike simultaneously. What this, of course, does is distracts him. Now he focuses on his face and not so much the gun. Grab him by the head, pull him in tight, deliver knee strikes, at least 3 of them, and then I push him straight down, keeping control of the weapon with my left arm. Then I walk around, secure the weapon with my right hand and my left hand on my thigh, and push against the wrist and cause the gun to be released. to the side. Same technique, same concept. He says, get my hands up.
Get your hands
As
up.
I'm looking at him, he expects my hands to move. I'm talking to him, don't do this, you don't need to do this.
Get your hands up.
I simply block, trap, it's the same exact technique. Nothing changes. Take it to the ground, it's the same thing all the way down. Trap the hand, and disarm the weapon. Okay. Back of the head. From here, same thing.
Get your hands up.
You want to make sure you glance back and make sure he has a gun and you know where it's at. Now what he's going to do, of course, is going to use that gun to bump me forward because I'm saying, look, what do you want me to do? He's telling me to get my hands up. I'm trying to talk him out of this.
Get your hands up.
Now, to make it easier to see in the video, I'm going to block with his hand. So he's going to get his hands up. I simply turn this way and block. Move back into him. Again, trap his hand, hit his face, knee striking, and put him on the ground. Nothing changes. Here, trap the hand, and we're good to go. Okay. Same thing. Something small at my back. I'm here, take a hostage. Same thing, I'm trying to distract him. He's using the gun for control. He says, get your hands up. But I want my hands as close to the weapon as I can be. So, as he says, get your hands up, what I simply do is turn and block down. Which side? The arm is trapped in this manner. I hit him in the face. I grab his head. I clean strike him several times. I take him to the ground. And it's the same technique. Nothing changes. To my ribs. The same disarmament technique works all the same way, except if it's in this position. And again, what he's going to say is, get your hands up.
Get your hands up.
As I'm talking to him, as soon as my hands start to come up, it clears the arm holding the hot firearm, and I do a downward block and trap it the same way as I did before. Strike, strike, goes to the ground. Same technique. Okay? Good, thanks.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Okay. Turn sideways. Right on. There you go.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Good.
What do you want?
Put your hands up.
What do you want?
Put your hands up.
Sorry.
Good
I
job.
can't see your face.
Put your hands up.
What do you want?
Put your hands up.
Good. Okay. Face the opposite way. Good job. Good.
Put your hands up.
You want to go home?
Put your hands up.
What do you want?
Put your hands up.
Good.
When am I supposed to pull the trigger on him?
Well, as soon as you see him move.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay, what do you want, man? Put your hands up. Put my hands up. Put your hands up.
Good.
Oh, are we good?
You ready?
What do you want me to do, man?
Put your hands up.
Good. Okay. Good. Stand face that way. You're breathing heavy. Okay.
Put your hands up.
Oh, man, you want me to put my hands up?
Put your hands up.
Good.
What do you want me to do?
Put your hands up.
What do you want me to do?
Put your hands up.
Good.
Oh, boy. Put your hands up.
What do you want me to do?
Put your hands up.
What do you want me to do?
Good. Okay. Face the other way. Go for it.
Yeah. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Good.